Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and Ranking Member Lucas, for actually welcoming me here. I'm honored to be part of this distinguished committee for the first time. I think I'm the first Puerto Rican representing the island in this committee, so I'm really excited to serve along my colleagues in this Science and Space Technology Committee. I look forward to represent a lot of the community in Puerto Rico. You may know that 42% of our economy runs on pharmaceutical manufacturing and electronic devices, and the bedrock for that is actually research and scientific investigations. On the other hand, we do have the Arecibo Observatory, which was the biggest radio telescope in the world for 50 years, second now just to China. So mainly been funded by the National Science Foundation and NASA through the program of grants. So having said that, my questions will be, first, I do notice that this budget in terms of the science area is $677 million more than to the one in fiscal year 2017. But I do have the concern that some of the programs, specifically the research and the area for space grants are supposed to be finished. So my first question will be specifically on that regard. How do we know that that kind of program that works with more than 150 network affiliates between colleges, universities, museums, and others consortia could be being restructured in the education activities it undertake and potentially canceling the National Space Grant College and Fellowship Program. I do know the need to economize, but I will love you to elaborate on those programs.
Sure. So NASA is very committed to STEM education. We're very committed to achieving better outcomes for the United States of America when it comes to producing the next generation scientist, technologist, engineer, and mathematician. And we do that through the various mission directorates, and we've found a lot of success in doing that. And we've made a determination through the budget request that the way we can make the most impact is in that way. And as far as Arecibo, I will say we're planning to spend about $4.5 million with Arecibo this year, and ramping up by 2022 about $5 million annually with Arecibo, which is a capability that we think is important and we currently utilize.
I'm really glad to hear that. As you may be aware, there's a lot of astonishing accomplishment of that observatory for the last 50, 60 years. Among them, many sites of pulsar, and people, even scientists that won the Nobel Prize for their research in that center. My second question will be in terms of, Puerto Rico was devastated by both hurricanes. Everybody knows that. Did the NASA receive all the allocated funds for the recovery of all the NASA facilities in the nation, including the tornadoes?
I will have to get back to you on that. I'm not 100% sure, but if I could take it for the record, I'll make sure I get you a correct answer.
Thank you. As you may be aware, that STEM technology and research is something that I will be pushing forward. So any way that we can help out and even work to establish more opportunities for kids in college to participate in those programs, I will be more than happy to work with. Having said that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you, Congresswoman.